Were you an Embiid guy? There's no wrong answer.
Let me see here. Oh, there is. There is. This is very easy. Basketball is a sport, and all sports are entertainment. Yes, they mean something in society. Yes, we gamble on them. Yes, they have cultural and racial implications. But ultimately, it's entertaining. And who's more entertaining? Jokic, who's efficient and passes the ball and looks like one of those air flyer things outside of a car dealership? Or Joel Embiid, who's funny and engaging and scores more points? This was not complicated. The most valuable, most interesting player in the league was Joel Embiid this year. Efficiency and effectiveness gives you Tim Duncan. That's boring. I would take KG's MVP over Tim Duncan all the time. Embiid may not make it to the championship this year, but he's definitely the MVP.
Hey, bro, how is it that I ask you a question and I think it's going to be just like, an easy answer, and you just find a way to insult people when that's not even the exercise. You just naturally go in at Jokic's neck. This was it was no wrong answer, but you made it a wrong answer. You just attacked a great player who had his 10th playoff triple-double yesterday. That's one more than Wilt Chamberlain had in the playoffs, 7 more than Bill Russell had in the playoffs. Anyway, look, since you mentioned Embiid, let's start with Embiid because he is entertaining. He is funny. He led the NBA in scoring for the second year in a row. And yesterday, he wasn't even the most surprising player getting it done for Philadelphia. It wasn't Joel Embiid. We expect him to do his thing. He had his 30 plus. That's what he does. Had a great chase down block of Jaylen Brown. Why didn't Jaylen Brown dunk that thing? I don't know. When you're 6'8" and got hops like that and Joel Embiid is trailing you, throw it down or else you get your shot blocked. The most surprising player was Tyrese Maxey going off for 30. And Jason, the Philadelphia 76ers, who have not beaten the Celtics in a playoff series since 1982. Wow. On the verge of winning this series. What stands out to you here?
What stands out to me is whenever you have a statistic about how one team hasn't beaten another since Big Wheels, the Smurfs, and Fat Albert, I'm always struck by the fact that at the end of the day, we're not talking about the same players. We're talking about completely generations of people. We're talking about, the Paul Pierce and the Antoine Walkers. I mean, you've got multiple generations of Celtics who have competed and made it to championships. So it doesn't hit me as much that it's been 30-something years since the 76ers. What does hit me is that this series has been a clear example of the fact that a heart of a champion, no matter how mediocre that champion may have been at times, and I'm talking about James Harden, and I'm talking about Maxey, and I'm talking about Joel Embiid, will always be better than paper tigers. I have said this all around about Jason Tatum. There is an icebox, there is a marshmallow, there is a cream pie that throws in your face where Jason Tatum's heart is supposed to be. He has all the talent in the world, but he cannot lead a team. He is the modern day version of Chris Webber. So as impressive as I've seen the 76ers be, it's really more about the Celtics not having leadership, because if Jason Tatum was the man that his talent says he should be, if he was the man on that team, the 76ers would have been down 3-1. We'd be talking about the end of that series.
Listen, at the end of this show, I want to go back and read the transcript of some of your one-liners, which are brilliant. Okay, I mean, they're great. It sounds good. I know it's going to read well. There are probably like a couple of lines in there, some literary references that I probably even missed. It's good. It's good. It's good, Doc. I know it is. It's always good. But have you forgotten why I'm making such a big deal about Philadelphia being on the verge of beating the Celtics? Now, you made the great point of, hey, these are different players. That's why it's exceptional. Allen Iverson's Sixers couldn't beat Antoine Walker's and Paul Pierce's Celtics either. Andre Iguodala's Sixers and Drew Holiday's Sixers, y'all forgot, right? Drew Holiday was on the Sixers. They couldn't beat Kevin Garnett's and Ray Allen's and Paul Pierce's Sixers either. So it's been such a long time. That's why it's significant. It's in the DNA. It's seemingly in the DNA of both franchises. But more specifically, what you said about Jason Tatum, that's what Joel Embiid's critics have been saying about him. That the process has been stalled. He has never played in the conference finals. You want to talk about talent? He's the MVP of the damn league. And he's never been in the conference finals. So I think the person you should really be focused on is Joel Embiid, how this might be a threshold crosser for him because he's the guy who puts up stats, who is funny, entertaining, great hairline, best hairline this side of Michael Smith, all that. But he's never been to the finals. So what are you going to say about him? At least Tatum was in the NBA finals last year.
You don't have to go to the finals. You don't have to go to the NBA finals for me to be an MVP. I just, Joel Embiid's only major weakness has been that he gets hurt.
How about the conference finals?
Even conference finals. Doesn't matter. Look,
what do you mean?
My MVP criteria is very different. Number one, I need you to be good. I need you to be effective. I need you to be impressive. I need you to be the difference in your team being a lottery squad like the Orlando Magic or actually being competitive. All of those things I think are embodied in Joel Embiid. And then, do I want to pay to see you? That's what makes a difference. That's what makes somebody the MVP. That's what made Derrick Rose the MVP in 2010 as opposed to LeBron James. He had a year where Chicago wouldn't have gotten anywhere without him, and he was the number one ticket that you wanted to see. So that, to me, was enough to make him MVP this year. Whether he makes the championship or not doesn't not make him an MVP. I don't know one person outside of a bunch of people perhaps somewhere in Eastern Europe who are saying to themselves, let's cobble together some coins so we can see the Joker. No, the only Joker that people care about is Joaquin Phoenix and that terrible Joker movie that came out a couple of years ago. They'd still rather watch that on DVD or Netflix or Disney Plus than go see the Joker now. He's not entertaining. He's not engaging. He's just a stats hog, and that's not interesting.
Come on, man. Come on. His team finished with the best record in the Western Conference. He's a triple-double machine. He had another one last night. Let's talk about him. I feel like we got to give Joker some love. And you know what? Entertainment. How about before the game? I bet you laughed. It was a belly laugh. You probably couldn't even contain your laughter before the game where he had a sight gag. He went up to the owner of the Phoenix Suns, new owner of the Phoenix Suns, who wouldn't give him the ball back. And he went up to Matt Ishbia and he said, here's the ball. Ha ha, get it? Ha ha. And they had a nice little, there it is, look at this. Oh, it's fun. Then they went out and they took a 3-2 lead in this series. He had his triple-double again, 10th of his career. Let me just point that out. In Wilt Chamberlain territory. And they're on the verge of going somewhere that Joel Embiid has never been, and that is to the conference finals. It's entertaining. Why isn't it entertaining to you to watch a big man score and dish, no looks, bounce passes, oops to his guys, rebound? Why is that entertaining? Are you not entertained? Why are you not entertained?
Maximus, I am not entertained, okay? If I want a killing joke, I'll read the old comic with the actual Joker, Jack Napier, the one who shot people and is Batman's villain. A sight gag, look, if you have to set up a sight gag, that little thing that he did before the game, that's about as funny to me as the last segment on like Saturday Night Live before you go to bed. It's garbage, it's extra, it's something that they just throw in so that somebody reminds them that they've actually filled out the space. I wasn't moved by that. I have to want to look at you and see if you're interesting to watch playing. Look, there's a lot of players who I love to watch play. They may not be the best players on their team, but if you are fun to watch and you are the best player on your team, Jokic should go all the way to the NBA Finals and win the Finals. And it'd be just like Tim Duncan. He was boring. He was ratings kryptonite. One of the best forwards ever, possibly the best forward ever in the history of the game, but it didn't mean I wanted to watch the guy on a regular basis. Just saying.
I like when he's hold the ball, then he get on the elbow, then line it up for that bank shot. Come on, that Tim Duncan bank shot. You ain't like that? That fundamentally sound defense. You didn't like that? What?
I was
on.
scarred. I was scarred by the 2002 NBA Finals with the Spurs and the Nets, which was the most painful finals I have ever observed in my life. It almost ended my love affair with the NBA.
03, next year. I told you, this is like a stupid parlor trick. I got like this little thing I do. I got the NBA Finals years cataloged mentally. So 2003, Nets and Spurs. 2002, Lakers and Nets. See, and they shut them down.
Lakers and Nets.
But the Nets the next year, the Nets were actually more competitive in that Spurs series than they were against the Lakers where they got swept. Anyway, let me ask you this: were you entertained at least by Kevin Durant shoving Jokic when Jokic and others were trying to go up to Monty Williams and they were trying to listen to the instructions that he was giving to his team, and Kevin Durant and others took exception to it? Durant gets a technical because he put a little shove on Jokic. Check out this. And it was so ferocious, Jokic almost fell back. Oh, whoa.
What?
Entertaining?
Just because Kevin Durant decided to throw some bows at the Eastern European air dancer, which is basically what he does, he flops like a soccer player. But at least Messi is an international champion, so I can tolerate his flopping, or Mbappe. No, I wasn't impressed by the flopping, just like I haven't been impressed with most of what Kevin Durant's done. I haven't been that impressed with most of what the Phoenix Suns has done. The toughest defense he may have shown was pushing Jokic back. If Monty Williams was not screaming to that team, hey, how about you guys play some defense, then he should have at least learned the lesson from throwing them bows. No, that didn't move me. That didn't impress me. The Phoenix Suns have been the most disappointing team in the playoffs for me. I really expected much better from them. I think the Nuggets are doing what I expected them to do. I think the 76ers doing better than I expected them to do. But the Phoenix Suns have been an absolute disappointment. I cannot believe they're getting run roughshod the way they are by a team that really is not that impressive.
You know what? You are in the bag today. Tell us what you've been doing the last couple of days. I mean, you are on it. You are on one today. I don't think I've ever heard you like this in a long time. What's going on? It must be the end of the semester for you. It's the end of the semester in Morgan State, right?
It is.
Right, that's what it is.
It is the end of the semester. We ended classes. Shout out to all my students. We were teaching about a bunch of different things happening in the media world. I save all my love and hot takes for y'all, man. I'm just being honest. You know me. I'm just being honest. Jay gonna give it to you like X.
You are on fire today. You're on fire. I love it. Jason Johnson, I can't wait I can't wait because I want to ask you about some things in the culture. I want to ask you about some movies and some music. And there's some stuff I like, and I just know you're probably going to torch it. So I'm kind of looking forward to the end of the show, but I'm bracing myself because you're going to take something that's important to me and you're going to fillet it. I know you're going to do this, but I love you anyway. Thank you, Jason. Good to see you. We're going to have a lot of fun today. I can tell it.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, thank you for watching Brother from Another. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that now. Don't forget you can catch us 3 to 4 weekdays on PeacockTV.com and on Sirius XM Channel 85.